Okay, let's talk about viewport of tab in a hair simulation. And this viewport does not change any main setting of the hair. It's just about how to view in viewport the hair, how to view the hair in a viewport. So first thing first is display. It's how you can display hair in a scene. Guidelines. It means you can see the guidelines. If you it's very important. We have a viewport when we deselect her or select her. If you select, you can just guidelines. If you go to the guideline polygon, you can see the guideline create a type on them, and you can see them in viewport, and you can see you have a specular, shading, or other things here. It's a polygon. If you deselect it, you can see better. You can see hairlines. This is an important. If you go to the, for example, none, it means you cannot see. But if you deselect everything, none, you cannot see anything. So if you select, you see the guides if you make it a none. The hairline, you can see just the hair. If you deselect, you can see just hairs in between them. The detail of this is important. If you go to the viewport and make it in detail 100%, it means 100% of hair count here you can display in a scene, and it may be cause some lags. I mean love speed on the system. So right click to default number. It's 1/4 of the main count to display in a scene. So if you make the hairline, you cache the hairline to the data that you can navigate better. Again, hair polygon, and you can see the hair like a polygon to better seeing them. Show back facing, it means it's show the hair far from the camera if it's long. And accurate CPU material, if you assign the material, it will show you more accurate. And if you want to use shadings, like in a display, these are shading that I explained it before. You can, if you want to better see viewport, you can enhance them. You can see the shading, specular, and ambient occlusion between the hairs if you want. But in ambient occlusion, make sure that you activate some settings here. I think the ambient occlusion is turned on. And these are just for seeing better. If you tick all of them, you can see better hair in a scene. Just for viewport if you want. And details generate as a render. As a render here, it means everything that you assign. This generation tab change the polygon of change the hair to the spline, polygon, and real 3D object. It means any setting that you set here as a render means you can see exactly in the viewport. So the most of the time you have to make it as a render. If you don't want to see any changes on the generation because of your computer, I don't want to see the shadings, set it as a or none. You can make your hair just simple flat. Ambient occlusion, I explained it before. It creates a simple shadow in between the intersections. flat, triangle. You can see, make it real 3D object. In a generate, I will be explaining it in generate tab. So make sure your box, you can see it's change it to box. Again to the up display and it's a grow shading line, you can see. And as a render, it means the count and the segment of the hair. You assign the count and the segment of the hair here, but if you have a not very powerful system, you can untick that and you can see you can change the count and the segment of the hair separately in the viewport, just for seeing in a viewport. Okay, as a render, it means anything that you set in a generation, you can see in a viewport. LOD, level of details, means all. It means if you go to the optional level of detail, it means you can see the low segment, medium segment, and high. It means the level of details, it's better seeing that. It's better to make it to the box. You can see. You can make it low, medium, or high detail, full detail. And if you set to the all, it means if you set all of them, all of these three common will be activated now. But if you set it to the none, if you change these settings, they are not acting in viewport. It means none of them. Or you can make it to the count, change the count of them, or change the segment of them. For example, change the segment. You can change the segment. You see these segments of the hair, the medium or low, any segment. So you can see in a viewport better if you change the generation in some of the other tools, other shape of. So make it all. It means all of these tools now will be shown, will be change the level of detail in your hair also. Sometimes because we use this level of detail in our heavy scene, if you don't want to the hair affected by these tools, you can set it to the none or all. It means all of this level of details will be shown in the hair. So this is a viewport tab, just for viewing the hair. So I make it to the as a render, and now we can, it's a better way to hair lines. Show the hairline, and the final render, the final display of the hair is just in a render. Don't forget that. The viewport and the render are different. If you want to see your result, just you have to render. This is not just for seeing in a viewport. Please don't forget to visit our TutorialCells apps channel. In this channel, we are introducing Android application and learn how to use them.